Right, so we've got some boards here, and as you can see, they're about 200 mils wide, and they're actually supposed to be 168 mils wide. So we'll just score it using that little spike there, and I've adjusted this mostly to the right place. What I find, because the boards are not 100% accurately cut at the board shop, the factory, that it's best to make a little mark and then measure it, because this one, because I can't measure 168 mils, or in my case 169. I want to leave a little bit more so I can sand it down or whatever. Any errors I can plane it or just to trim it. So I'll give myself a mil, maybe even 2 mils. So we'll make a quick mark. And we get a nice little scratch here, which you can't see, I'm pretty sure. So now you can see the mark. And the trick is to measure the side we want, which is the big part, not the little part. So that says about 169. So as I said, I'm happy with that, because I'm going to be able to sand it then. And yes, I have a belt sander, so it makes this into a joke. And then it's really easy just to score the line across. You just keep it flat. There we go. One nice long straight line. You can always double check it, because before you cut it is the time to double check it. So spot check it in a few different places. Yeah, 169. And come down here, other end, 169. So at least the board is cut consistently, even if it is 199, not 200. And that's because I misread the plans. Originally I thought this was like the front panel or the back panel, which then would stack on top like that, if this is the side panel. Well, let's give you an idea if that's the side panel. I originally thought the design was like that, in which case the top board would be the front, would be the 200 width, which is the entire width of the speaker. But it turns out it actually gets sandwiched in between, like so. So that's why it needs to be 168. And then this is literally 16 mil thick board. And if you don't believe me, and trust me, I know it is 16 mils because I've had to measure it several times. Originally, the board shop gave me 18 mil board, and then it didn't work because this is basically 32 from 200, which is 16 mils times 2. And that's kind of how you get to the outer dimensions. It's all based on the inner dimensions plus the board thickness. Okay, let me just describe a few more of these boards. And yes, this is easier than using a pencil and a ruler. Just do this one a bit more. Okay, I'm going to clamp these boards up and cut them. Okay, this is what I've set up. Just another board of the same thickness. Another one clamped on top, 2 clamps this side, 2 clamps that side. This is basically 124 to here, which is basically the distance from the edge of this to where the blade is going to be cutting, plus 4 mils for the thickness of the blade. It's actually about 3 mil blade, but I'm giving myself a little bit of leeway. And yeah, there's a fan in the background because this is MDF. I am outdoors. I'm going to turn the fan on and I'm going to cut in that direction. The fan's going to blow it in that direction. And with the design of the blade, I've noticed when it turns this, it tends to split the sawdust in that direction. So the fan's going to help with that. And yeah, we should be good. So let's give it a go. Fan's on. Oh, I see the problem. I scribed too many lines here. There we go. Easier to see the right line now. One way to get these boards all the same, I suppose, width is to clamp them together. Clamp another one on the other side on a very flat surface, not this table, and then use either a planer or a belt sander. I'm going to use a belt sander. Make some dust. Okay, so for most of the lengths I can actually just rub my fingers across here without even feeling a dip, which means it's very level, including all the way down here. There's a bit in the middle here, you can see this dust is built up, but the sign is not quite, and over here as well. But for the main part, they're now perfectly even in terms of width, which is good. It'll make it gluing it together a lot easier, less filling of low spots. Basically, that's how you can dial it in, the thickness. Pretty much exactly where it needs to be. This just happens to be the thickness that I'm trying to match. Which goes to show belt sanders are useful.